Good morning, pregame crew. It is Monday, November 15th, 8:23 a.m. Eastern, 6:23 Mountain. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and you are at the pregame show. Welcome if it's your first time here. Welcome if it's your 100th time here. Welcome, best friend. Hi, Mila, Mal, Jorge. Audiovisual check, please. Mitch, Fat N, Kalex, Amara Asia, Blue Dog, Train Man, Mark Frank, Dino, Night Truck, Scott. Turn the volume down here just for a second. Hey Mustang, hey Topher. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it. We're going international, Mal. Thank you. Hey Trey, how are ya? I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I hope it was filled with fall weather, fall leaves, football, whatever tickles your fancy on the weekend. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you're ready for the week. I hope you're prepared. Clear mind, clear heart. Hope you're ready to go. Oh, we're going to have a lot of MJ. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Does anybody have a chart request real quick before I start? Thank you, Bobby. Hey, Randy. How are ya? I feel like we had a great week last week just as a crew. Like our flow, I feel like my flow was good. It was decent. And I just hope for more of the same this week and we can make money together and have fun. Hi, Daniel. Yours was filled with snow. I'm a little jealous. I love snow. Okay, you want to go over Luna? Let's do it. I'm going to go over Luna USDT Binance, okay? Topher? Has a squeeze on the 4 hour. Okay, we got daily double Ds here. So we're forming an inside bar within the prior day's range. Resistance 52.49, support 59.07. We're here at the daily 8 EMA, which of course on crypto I use 12 and 26, and on stocks I use 8 and 21. Only reason I use 12 and 26 is GDAX, which is Coinbase Pro now. That's what they started with, and it seemed like crypto responded to those EMAs a little bit better. But in general, we have a squeeze here on the 4 hour. We have tightening range, Topher. We're holding the 50 RSI and we have declining volume. So when everyone wakes up over here, what's going to happen with Luna? Resistance 51.60. And we don't have this support established yet. It hasn't pivoted yet from 50.30, but that's a level to be watching. And then 49.07. You had stroke patients all weekend? Well, that's no bueno. No CVAs. No CVAs. DDD. I'm not a healthcare professional, but I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Okay, DDD with a daily inside bar. Resistance 26.03, support 25.35. The next resistance 26.42, then 25.06. This could be a 4 hour bear flag. I'd be real careful with this name if you were trying to go long. These little bitty tiny bull breaks with very little follow through look very much like a bear flag. FVI for Mustang. And we'll go over PLTR. Ooh. Wow. I don't know what happened with this name. Oh, earnings. They had earnings. Silver getting punished hard. Your support 478 and 471. And beyond 471, your next support is down at 205. Just something to be aware of. You can't put this in the bank, okay? This is just something to be aware of. If we were to get a lower low below 471, watch for broadening formation and possible bear exhaustion. We'll see. But it doesn't look constructive. Let me look at silver and be responsible. Can't look at a silver name without looking at silver. Silver is much healthier, much more healthier. Definitely off the earnings. Much more healthier. Okay. I need to talk to my English teacher about that. Okay, weekly potential inverse head and shoulders on silver. We're running into the weekly 50 MA. We may get an initial rejection here, but a pull back to the weekly EMAs in the 2450 area could be a buy area. So constructive on silver. No problem. Affirm. Oh, I said I was going to do PLTR. Affirm with a big bearish engulfing weekly candle. Do you see that? Let's just have a moment for this weekly candle. And that could end up with some type of broadening formation. But do you know what type of force it takes to go break the prior week high and then go break the prior week low? That's some serious bearish pressure on high bear volume. Obviously, it was an earnings reaction. And right now we have a daily EQ is the most likely scenario with a higher low compared to 132.16 PLTR. We'll get started with the indices, commodities, crypto, mover and shakers of the day in 2 minutes. PLTR, some type of news this morning. I initially read it as bearish, but it's kind of going both ways. We do have high pre-market volume. Daily bearish engulfing candle there. Be very wary and careful of potential 4-hour bear flag on PLTR. People love to love this name and bears love to hate it. So you just have to recognize every time that you trade this, you're stepping on a battleground. And I hope that makes sense. So I personally don't like to play names where there's always a battle going on. You, of course, can get great pops and drops from them. But overall, PLTR is a much loved name and it's a much hated name at the same time. So there's a sport that is very popular in India called Kabaddi. And this is like a total game in Kabaddi every day. Like here's the half court line if it were basketball, because I know that better. And it's like each team is coming from this line from the other side and they're just constantly battling at the half court line versus getting some true follow through. Okay, crisp. Yep, Tilray and MSOS are both up in pre-market. It's an MJ kind of week, MJ kind of month. We will always be protective. 84.38 is your support below 86.66. I looked at these names this weekend. I love the genomics names. I was looking at ARKG, just murdered, just slaughtered. Edit. Chris, these names are just, they're hurting. I think it's wonderful what they do, but regardless of fundamentals, they have to prove it somehow, sometime with price. You just can't be awesome on fundamentals and not prove it. So we got a tightening range here. If you are high risk bottom fisher, you could try to bottom fish this, but you have a high risk of getting, or high probability of getting stopped out because you're super counter trend. Good morning, John Mason. I'm particular to that last name. I am partial to that last name. Hey, Slow Devil. I don't know Kabaddi. I really shouldn't say that, but I worked with a lot of doctors who happen to be Indian and they loved the game and they taught me about it. And I thought it was a great analogy in a lot of things that I've faced in life. All right. Oh, they had major issues with their mine, the silver name that got hurt. All righty. I will go over the MJ ETF, MSOS. So I'm Charcal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. I break it down Monday through Friday, pregame show, go over the indices, crypto, commodities, movers and shakers of the day, and I show you what I'm watching. But I have to show you this. So if you're new to this pregame show, if you're new to the pre-market show, we have, or TCG in general, we have tons of channels. These are just my starred channels. We have futures, crypto alts, commodities. We have uranium. We have all kinds of stuff. And we have a marijuana channel that is pretty busy. And we have Charting Man Dan. He's been trading MJ for over, I think, 11, 12, 13 years, maybe 13 years. I'm not sure, but something like that. He is the expert on US and Canadian marijuana in the world, not the country, not North Carolina, in the world. He is the #1 expert. So he makes videos for us every weekend. And most nights now we have weekend video, Canadian MJ, US MJ, psychedelic, and we get the breakdown. So if we were ahead of this faster than anyone else, and we were ahead of uranium in that breakout, were we ahead of everything? No, we can't be experts in everything, but we're pretty freaking good at marijuana trading. So we were on top of it. If you got a piece, if you had some, I carried heavy into this morning. So it's been a great morning. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm Charcal Lori again. I'm a technical analyst. And we will break down technical analysis. And every day I try to bring just a little bit of education. Sometimes it's technical related. Sometimes it's trading psychology, whatever floats my fancy that day. So don't have a lot of education for today, but I do have a lot of tickers. So let's get into it. If you're into my chart setup, it's on the screen now. Yellow is 50 EMA, green and red 8 and 21 EMA. Yellow candles just mean inside bars. It's like a Russian nesting doll with where the range rests within the prior candle range. CM Ultimate RSI multi-time frame, that was plotted wrong. This is the CM Ultimate RSI multi-time frame, and then the Squeeze Pro indicator. So let me just break it down in simplistic terms for my brain, not for you, but for my brain. We have a 4-hour uptrend. And ES actually, sorry about the dinging, that's my thinkorswim. And ES actually is a little bit closer to its all-time high than NQ is. It's a little closer than RTY, and it's a little closer than YM. So ES has a higher probability of breaking through the all-time high at 4/7/11/75 than NQ does. So let me go to the daily and show you what I mean. Do you see how we were only less than 1% away from the all-time highs where we opened up today? And we were watching last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The thesis was we would have a bull flag, which happened. That was a thesis that I was projecting in the swing report video and every morning to you last week. Bull flag. Thursday was a holiday, which meant the bond market was closed, and that was a very quiet day for the market. And then Friday, we had a trend day. We talked about that trend day within TCG and general chat. We were looking at market internals. It was one of my best trading days ever. We hit it. The ADNDD, which is the advancer decliner for NASDAQ, was super bullish. And so it led to what would be a high probability trend day and what we had. However, the trend day couldn't take out all-time highs. So now we wake up on Monday morning and we have this daily bull flag looking to confirm over and above 4/7/11/75. The fly in the ointment is NASDAQ is a little bit farther away. Totally not they can do it, but it's not ideal. Typically, you want your bull flag to be super shallow. We had one candle close below the EMA, and then we quickly resolved that. And that was caused by the 30-year bond auction and the US 10-year going crazy, which has since calmed down. RTY a little closer than NASDAQ to the all-time high, confirming this bull flag. IWM, sorry, that is RTY. And then YM's just a little bit farther as well. But BA had good news this morning, and XLF is so pretty. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I typically have a bear bias on banks because they're severely propped up by the feds, but that's fundamental noise. The chart on XLF looks beautiful, and that should help YM and IWM RTY have bullish days. So let's go back to ES. Let's show me what you're working with. We have an hourly uptrend, and I want you to just look at this little curl. Let me see if I can. I want you to look at this little curl right here. You see that kink? The kink in the EMA, and even if you do Bollinger Bands, you will see the kink. Look at this kink right here. This is such an extra edge, an awesome extra edge you can add to your tool belt. It's something I've taught in TCG for several years. When you have that little kink in the Bollinger Band before price lifts, have the magnet on, before price lifts, that is a great tell, a poker tell, that it is moving to, it has a high probability moving to the upside along with the EMA kink right there. So that just shows incoming volatility. So I'm going to say this slower because I have to get it straight in my head. If price is closer to the upper band of the Bollinger Band when you get this kink, it increases the probability that we're going to break to the upside. Now, if price was down here and we had this little kink in the Bollinger Band, it would actually lead to the opposite, where a higher probability you're going to break to the downside. It is just a poker tell, a heads up, a canary, a bellwether, whatever you want to call it. We have incoming volatility, and where price is in relation to that Bollinger Band tells you the most likely scenario as to how it's going to break. And it's a really cool tool. So I toggle it on and off as needed. But this is a super bullish EMA on the hourly. Look at the slope, SOTIMA. Let me type that. I understand that my accent's not that easy to understand sometimes. Slope of the EMA. The sharper the slope, the faster the bulls are driving the car. So the higher the slope, what am I trying to say? Like 45 degrees, the more acute, there it is, the more acute the slope is northerly, that the faster the bulls are driving the car. Same thing to the downside. Very bullish EMAs. So I'm gathering everything I can for y'all to give you just the best setup for the day. I tell you all the time, all the puzzle pieces are thrown on the ground when I wake up and I have to slowly pick up each puzzle piece. The Bollinger Bands, the EMAs, and just price in general is telling me a lot. We have a bullish day until we don't. I am looking bullish today. Now, aggressive bears will be looking to top fish 47.11, but I'd actually go to NASDAQ and short that, 1644850, because we have a little bit farther distance from this higher low to the higher high. So I would actually look at shorting NASDAQ, because anything that is aligned with XLF in any way, I don't want to step in front of, and that includes YM, RTY, and ES. All three of them have large banking components, and XLF is the strongest chart I see out there right now, and then IWM. So I don't want to get in the way of that. I get run over by my kids. I don't want to get run over by charts. NASDAQ resistance. Let's go back to the 4-hour uptrend clear. 16391 or 16400 psych, then 16448. Those are your clear resistances, and aggressive bears will be looking to top fish that. Support 16205. Okay, so let's stop there. So if I am slightly bearish NASDAQ and bullish everything else today, does that mean I'm going to jump in and go long Amazon to start? No, because I'm looking for a little softness, not weakness, softness from technology. It's not positioned poorly, but it's positioned slightly more bearishly than our other three Fab 4 indices. And how about you hit the like button and I'll keep going, and hit the subscribe button, please. All right, so on the hourly, your NASDAQ support, 16200. We're just going to call it 16,200. Angles and tangles. RTY, beautiful chart. Let's go to IWM. I think it's clearer. We have double daily inside bars, and we are breaking bull on RTY on the futures chart. Of course, IWM is still within the inside bars because we haven't opened a regular trading hour. So we're breaking bull from RTY, and that's super bullish. XLF, growth, marijuana, solar. Solar got lots of upgrades this morning. So solar, growth, marijuana, bull, bull, bull. They're all lined up bullish. Let's see if they can come through with actual follow through. Your next resistance on RTY, 2431. Support 2409. YM, support 35965, 35839, and resistance 36255, 36312. VIX. So we had that weekly bear flag last week. We went over it and we went over it. So what is really just a little odd is it is a bear flag on the weekly, but the bulls have given themselves enough room for a higher low compared to 1473. So will we EQ out? And then will that determine the trajectory of the last half of the week? I would say so. US 10-year. We have a daily inside bar. We're still within Friday's range. We're within that. Key support 1541. We need this to sit down. We don't need any type of inverse head and shoulders. We need this to sit down, or the NASDAQ bearishness would be well served. If this goes up and breaks 160, then again, I would be looking more bearish on NASDAQ. Crypto, doesn't this look a lot like YM and NASDAQ? A lot like NASDAQ, actually, where we have this pull down. Let's see what percentage. We pulled back about 10% from the top, and now we're getting a little bit of an upper wick on this daily candle. So on the hourly, we're attempting to keep the uptrend going. 65292 is your support now. This is where we say, okay, if Bitcoin loses its footing, then that makes me even more bearish on NASDAQ. It doesn't mean, oh, there's a nice little pop on NASDAQ. But I will be watching Bitcoin for clues. If they lose 65292, I'll see if ES follows it down. Is Bitcoin our canary, our bellwether? We don't know. But I will be watching for clues. And market internals give me my best clues. My absolute best clues. Blues clues. Ethereum support 470650, 466160, resistance 4770. On the 4 hour, we're getting a little bit of upper wick of profit taking. The bulls have enough room to do their busy work. Come down here, get the higher low, and then let's go take out that all-time high. Crypto looks good. It looks constructive. Nothing alarming yet. Gold. Gold, nice bull move. If you didn't get this bull move, you're fine. You're all right. It's not ideal, but you're all right. Let's look for a pullback. And if we could hit 1836, that would match up with the daily 8 EMA at 1843. So in the 1840 area for a potential bottom fish of gold to get in on this bullish action. Action Jackson. CL. So frustrating. Support 78.96, 78.25, resistance 81.62, 82.33. If you're a member of TCG, you saw Dan's video in Commodities this weekend. It was for TCG members only. And he talked about this move. Lower low, and then it resolved higher. Look how familiar this looks like. Okay, higher high, lower low, lower high, boom. Higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Is it going to roll over here like it did here? It looks very similar. Very similar. So watch your XOP names, your XLE names. Oil is looking weak. 80.52, 81.20 are your resistances. It's called the pivot high low, Zia, how we get the price on the candlestick. Okay, Nat Gas. So Nat Gas, something else that Dan posted in this weekend's video for Commodities was a potential 12-hour. This is going to look hideous on the 12-hour, so excuse me, but we have a potential falling wedge where we're getting lower lows without a lot of follow through. It just happened again with 4713. I bought that dip. I'm long Nat Gas. Long Nat Gas. Resistance 4915, 5075. Just a low risk bottom fish in this area, looking for a weekly lower high. I'm just looking for a bounce to get that weekly lower high because we possibly have a monthly bull flag. It's not ideal bull flag, but it's possible. ZC, corn. Okay, that's an ugly monthly candle. Didn't look at that. But what I'm looking at for corn, and Joey's posting about it all over Commodities. You can go read his post. They're definitely more detailed, but bottom fishing a higher low compared to 547 makes sense on corn. It is positioned bullishly to get this weekly bounce on going. We got a lower high compared to 589. Now let's go get that daily higher low, and bulls will be looking to bottom fish 547. All right, let's go over our tickers of the day. Everything bubble pops from an inflation perspective. That's just too much fundamentals. Not for this time in the morning. It's just too much fundamentals in general. Which kind of lends itself to what I wanted to go over this morning. Just a real quick pep speech or pump up speech. It's one of my favorite clips ever. By the way, corn is bullish. We're holding this 50 RSI. Nice bull volume. All right. So a lot of you asked me a lot of fundamental questions. A lot of you asked me tickers, like several tickers at once. So hopefully this resonates with you as something to maybe change your focus of the week. Last week I mentioned focus, and it resonated with a lot of you. I got a lot of feedback on that, a ton. When I said if we would have just focused, I think it was Friday, I went over QQQ for Thursday. You could have had a killer day if you'd have just focused on QQQ. A lot of you are focusing on too many things. So I thought this was a nice video. So you'll indulge me for a minute, less than 30 seconds.
Every man has two lives. And the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
Wow.
It's like a happy person wants 10,000 things. A sick person just wants one thing, right? So it's your unlimited desires that are clouding your peace, your happiness. Have desire, just don't focus on more than one desire at a time. The universe is rigged in such a way that if you just want one thing and you focus on that, you'll get it. But everything else, you gotta let go.
Did you make...
every man has two lives.
How crazy is that? Every man has two lives. Your second life begins when you realize you only have one. I love that. And that focusing on one true desire of your heart versus 10,000, because the universe is rigged in such a way that you focus on too much, you're not going to get it. Does that not resonate with you as a trader? And I'm not picking on you. How do I know these things? How do I know that's a problem for you? Because it's a problem for me. It's a problem every day for me. Think about all the tickers people ask me about, all the charts that I analyze for different people, the charts that I analyze for the swing report. I went over about 700 charts this weekend. in the swing report. You want to talk about focus issue? I saw so many pretty charts. So it's something I fight every day by the nature of my job. And I also fight it just as a general trader. So I know you're fighting it. So I really want you to focus today, not just on one ticker. You can focus on several tickers, but focus on one setup, on one good entry, on one good exit, on working on your trailing stop, on letting your play out or stop out skill, just let it play out. You've got to focus on one thing. So I'm telling you, if you pick MSOS today to focus on, that would make a lot of sense. And if Tilray goes nuts and MSOS stays stuck in the mud all day, you can't be mad at the end of the day. You have to be happy. You focused on one ticker. So that's what I'm asking you today, is to focus on one ticker. Absolutely one ticker. All right, Apple. Now, Apple's not set up well today. And now, of course, everything can change in the next minute. Remember, the minute I stop talking to you, like I've used all the data I have up until this point, and then as more data becomes available, I could have made better decisions or different decisions based on the new data. So I can only give you what I have with the information up till 7 a.m. my time. That's all I can do. By the way, Dan starts live in the Chart Guys room in 11 minutes, and he answers all ticker requests within reason, and we do that 3 times a day. Apple's positioned very well bullishly. It may be an end of the week thing. It may be an end of the month thing. Let me turn this volume down. It may be an end of month thing. It may be an end of week thing. It may be an end of year thing. But I will not miss this run. Apple, we're holding the 50 RSI. We've begun the daily squeeze. We had increasing bull volume. Nice lower wick of bulls buying the dip off my perfect, wonderful favorite 50 MA. Now, we may get a lower high compared to 152.43 and tighten up. Yes, please. If we can tighten up within this, I will be sure to keep it on my watch list and keep you informed on this potential trade setup. I think Apple is positioned very well. They've almost, if you will, lulled everyone to sleep. They've lulled everyone to sleep, so now they can wake it up. It's like, okay, Apple's doing nothing. Get rid of it. Implied volatility's down to nothing. And then they ramp it and rip it. That's the feeling I get from Apple. I can't trade feelings, but I will keep you updated on the technicals. CGC. CGC, we had this vol climax over here that marked the bottom. All of our members were all over it. So here are your levels today. We have a lot of Reddit attention. If Zach Morris were to give any kudos to any of these, they would run as well. It's ready and primed for the hype. Let me go look at the hourly RSI. Hourly RSI is 89. I don't see how a reasonable person can get bullish up here. But buying a 5-minute back burner, abso-freaking-lutely. Let's go set our alarm. Okay, so we got our alarm set for 5-minute back burner. So on any MJ trade, if you missed them all, no problem. We're only going to focus on that one thing, right? So you missed it, but we're going to focus on the back burner. We're going to focus on a back burner, and when that 5-minute gets oversold, we're then going to wait for a 2-minute higher low, higher high, put our stop below the 2-minute higher low, enter long, and walk up our stop. CMG. CMG was my biggest winner last week. I hope some of you got it with me. I was watching this downtrending line. We had this beautiful squeeze, RSI crossing 50. We had increasing bull volume, but look at this daily RSI. This sucker ain't done. 60. We are not overbought. On the hourly, we're overbought. So I want to buy a 5-minute. I want to buy an hourly higher low. So I'm going to go to the 5-minute and see if I can't snag a back burner. I don't want to miss the potential second leg up on CMG. It was too big of a winner for me last week. BA should have been up here. I can't spell. BA has some positive news this morning. We had this downtrending line. You can draw it on the daily or the weekly. I did it on the weekly. We have a squeeze, RSI crossing 50, getting over that daily 50 MA. This could have legs. Again, I need to wait for a high of low bar. So I may not get my, do y'all see the difference here? So I may not get, I'm going to have to draw candles because that's terrible. I may not get a back burner. This is so bullish. I may not get it. So what I can focus on is a high of low bar trade on the 2 or 5 minute. Y'all always ask me the time frame. And then I would put my stop below that low bar, and I would enter on the break of that high of low bar. And then I would start walking my stop up. So high of low bar trade on BA, potential Queen of the Mountain, CGC. We went over that. JMIA. I actually got this from Strat Queen. You know which Sarah I'm talking about. We have 2 monthly inside bars confirmed, and we're working on our 3rd monthly inside bar. JMIA can have some pretty cool volatility. So you may want to position yourself on any pullback relative to either 1811 or 1781 for a potential higher low to see if you can bottom fish JMIA. High degree of or high probability of getting stopped out, but it's a nice risk to reward. MSOS. This is where my focus will be. I have a large position left over from Friday. I've taken 25% off this morning, and I will be looking at managing the rest. 32.52 support, then 32.30, the high of Friday. Don't forget these levels. And then those of you who missed it, you'll be setting a 5-minute back burner alert. Tell me when 5-minute RSI crosses 30. So here are our levels on MSOS. Bulls will be all over this today, and bears will be too. Bears love to hate marijuana names just as much as bulls love to love it. So watch for a battleground. I'm looking to buy dips on marijuana. NEWR. Triple D's, triple daily inside bar. Now this one is weird. So when we have such a gap up, huge gap up, huge, and then we go sideways, I am not looking to buy to short a bear break. This is too bullish of a chart. I don't want to short 121.01. And I know that's confusing because you're like, well, it's a triple daily inside bar. Don't you want to buy or short the break? No, I don't want to buy bear. What I would love for it to break bear, then come in and like hold this level, 115.56, then come back up through that candle for potential bull flag. I hope that makes sense because this has the anatomy of a daily bull flag. I don't want to short daily bull flags. I want to get long, but I need to get long in a responsible way. So I could let the bears get triggered in, then get them stopped out, and then reverse it to the upside. This is a very sophisticated trade idea. Not sophisticated in that I'm sophisticated, just a more complicated idea. So this is definitely for the more experienced trader. PUBM. Double D's, 40.13 resistance, 37.60. I'm almost looking for the same thing. Come do just like a tiny bear break without any follow through and then zoom higher. I like that idea. Tilray. Okay, 4-hour Tilray. Tilray is in the top 3 Reddit names this morning. This one could have more hype than MSOS, so just know that. And Tilray has really, really liquid options with high premium, so you have to be an options ninja to trade them. Huge bull break. Your next resistance, 1377 is the high of pre-market, and then above 1377 is $14 and then $14.27. Let's go look at the hourly RSI. We're at 76. Actually, that looks great. Congrats. That's pretty good. They cooled off. Let me go look at MSOS again. Okay, they're cooling that off. Did they cool off CGC? CGC is a little up there. So CGC is the only one that looks a little precarious up here. It looks strong, but precarious in that the hourly RSI is 86. Tesla. I'm bearish Tesla. I'm bearish Tesla. I mean, Elon had another tweet this weekend saying that he may need to sell more. He asked Bernie Sanders his advice after he confirmed that he was in fact alive because Elon thought he was dead. Inappropriate. So on any bounce, I would look to short a lower high. So I'm looking for a Tesla bounce to short, 987 being the target and the ultimate target being 910. And that's pretty low down there. If it were to get to 910, I would flip to being a buyer. So I don't know that I'm going to short between 980 and 910. I don't know if that makes sense, this 987 target. I may short it as long as the short's working. I would just walk my stop down. But around 910, I start looking the other way. When? Double D's, double daily inside bar, RSI holding 50, and a squeeze. Y'all look how similar this is to CMG. Only thing different, CMG had that downtrending line. This doesn't. Well, I guess it does probably on the weekly. Yep, it does. It's already breaking it. Get rid of that. That's a mess. Michigas. Okay, so we have a squeeze on the daily, a squeeze on the 4-hour, and a squeeze on the hourly. This could get good, folks. Love a bottom fish around $93 to possibly go long win. XLF. So in TCG, we like to sell gap ups. We like to buy the gap downs and always sell the gap ups. But you do it in a protective way, constantly moving up your stop. And if it's going to rip and roar, you just stay with it, but you move up your stop as you go. XLF, this is the prettiest chart around. Weekly bull flag. And this is a gorgeous trampoline chart with a squeeze. This is beautiful. And it's odd. It's so odd. I love this chart so much. And I went to try to find a name. BAC was the closest to the XLF chart. GS? No. JPM? No. WFC? C? Terrible. So it's odd. It's just super odd. I know there's so many names that make up XLF. But that chart's one of the prettiest ones out there. So you could trade FAS is the bull, so XLF bull. FAZ is XLF bear, which I'm not saying go bear, but I like XLF. Okay, I have time for one chart. Then I'm going to go listen to Dan in 1 minute. Dan the man, the GOAT. ATER. Here's your resistances and your support. I don't like this chart. I don't like this chart at all. Lots of pump and dump. Pump. Pump and dump. Pump and dump. Pump and dump. Pump and dump. It looks like a daily bear flag. All right, that's it for me. Use stop losses. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And I better see y'all tomorrow. All right, TCGers, you'll see a lot of me in the room.